Welcome back to the channel, lads. It is time for Fortnite Chapter 6, and I wanted to do a quick run through of the patch notes to show you everything that you missed in this update, and this is a major update. The Oni Hunter season will fundamentally change the way that you play this game, and it's going to provide so many different game modes that have never been in Fortnite before. So let's check this all out right now. To start with, we have the new map called Oninoshima, and this map features many different drop spots, and it continues the Hope storyline from Chapter 5. On this map, the cherry blossoms fall on soil long protected by spiritual forces, and here you'll make a name for yourself as a demon hunter. Couple of features for the actual new drop spots, some great key art here. But modern marvels right here, this one is very awesome, the Seaport City, while the shining span connects it to neighboring villages such as the Canyon Crossing. This village is kind of inspired by Big Hero 6, Baymax, San Francisco, and he is in the Battle Pass. I will be doing a Battle Pass review in another video, so be sure to subscribe, by the way. And as we see from the next key art, the San Francisco Bridge itself. Very nice. In between these cities, we'll have serene landscapes such as magic mosses with obelisks and night shift forest, and even the Great Turtle drop spot, which reminds me a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender. There is some suspicion there will be another Avatar crossover, but we're much more likely to get a Demon Slayer crossover before that. Keep that in mind. Now, currently there are two bosses on the Chapter 6 map. First, you have the Shogun X, and defeating him will give you the Wanderer Medallion, though don't think that it's easy to defeat him. He has an incredible amount of health, and you're going to draw a lot of attention taking him out because you're most likely to fight him in the middle of a field. But his coin might be worth going for because you get infinite stamina and invisibility while sprinting. And this is the best that invisibility has ever been. Invisibility is normally tied to crouching, and that makes it functionally useless. But with it balanced like this, I can definitely imagine an endgame where you're literally just running around the entire circle while invisible, and everyone else is fighting each other and not fighting you. We also have the Night Rose, whose spirit has come to stock, and her medallion will make your weapons reload themselves. And there was an augment that was similar to this, but you had to switch off of the weapon you wanted to reload. So it might function like that. It makes it a bit less useful. We have a new function called Expertise Quests, and you'll be getting combat quests in the game, which will task you with damaging or eliminating players. And as you do this, you'll actually get the opportunity to get a legendary version of the weapon you complete these tasks with. It's kind of an expansion of the mod benches that they had in Chapter 2, but I think only the best players were using those mod benches. The thing about those month-long seasons is there's not enough time to really adjust to the meta. People hadn't keyed in on modding benches and getting your weapons up to gold before going into endgame. People were just kind of winging it in the Chapter 2 remix, let's be honest. And it does say that all traditional weapons in Chapter 6 will be hit scan. And I take this to mean that anything that fires rounds, anything that has ammunition. So we'll have crossover items such as shurikens and other things into the future, but anything that is functionally a gun should be hit scan for the entirety of Chapter 6. We also have the Typhoon Blade, and people were thinking this would be a remix of the Kinetic Blade, but it isn't. It doesn't have that dash effect. It just consumes less stamina while sprinting and allows you to sprint faster. So I'm very interested to see how this will pair with the Oni Medallion. This might be the fastest movement in the game. We'll do that in a future video, see how that holds up to the test. Now, the Oni masks are very interesting because people thought these would be part of the Demon Slayer crossover, but they're already in the game right when Chapter 6 launches. You have two. The Fire Oni mask, which will launch homing flame projectiles, and the Teleport mask, which will allow you to reposition and outplay other players. And this thing actually prevents fall damage. So the teleportation mask, the Oni mask, becomes one of the most important items in Fortnite Chapter 6, without a doubt. So it turns out the rumored return of the pet backblings was just that, rumors. Instead, it's the new sprite function, and these sprites can be found on the Chapter 6 map, and they will give you various effects. The air sprite will create an upward wind vortex that sends you flying with a glider redeploy. Water sprite can be thrown to create a healing fountain that restores health and shields. So in some ways that's worse than the old waterbending mythic, but in some ways it's better because now it gives you extra shield. I can see this one being less useful though, because you gotta be stationary. This is something that'll probably do very well in competitive modes, not so well in public lobbies. Then we have the Earth Spirit, which consumes items you feed it in exchange for a reward. Maybe a good gun, maybe some sort of special movement item, I'm not sure. And by bringing a sprite to a sprite shrine, you will get a boon, ranging from reloading your weapons faster, eliminating players reveals other nearby players. Wow, the radar boon? That's gonna be huge. Wind boon, move faster while pickaxe is equipped. Water boon, swimming grants health and shields to yourself. So if you take the water guy and you upgrade it, it's better than the water bending mythic ever was. And considering that the water bending mythic was truly powerful because it was a hit scan weapon in a projectile season, this water boon is gonna be stupid OP. Wind boon, you'll probably see some pro players do some very interesting stuff with this, because pickaxing to get through walls, the whole competitive format, the way you box fight, this can make some very interesting plays. And I will note that all of Fortnite competitive for Chapter 6 is build tournaments only. Zero build as a competitive format is effectively dead. There was too many cheaters, literally. Top 10 to top 15 of every single tournament was getting disqualified. It was a freaking mess. So it's all build mode again, except for the Sunday tournaments. And that means that most people are probably going to be hopping back into build mode. We got some new vehicles like the road bike and the void burn. And the way this worked is that last season, they had Snoop Dogg's Cadillac. And then the Cadillac ended up in the item shop once it was vaulted. So I imagine they're going to start doing this. They're going to start bringing new vehicles onto the map, changing their skin, changing their function, but you'll be able to buy the skins later if you really like the way that vehicle looked. And kind of hidden here in the patch notes is new movement features. Massive, massive movement reworks, and we're going to be going into details about this over the course of this season, because these are the things that fundamentally change how you play the game. These are the things that introduce new techniques, and there's sort of a learning curve here. As people play more, they're going to discover more ways to use these techniques to their advantages. So I recommend you subscribe, because I'm going to be going hard this season. We're going to see if we can unlock some new tech here in Chapter 6. But keeping it basic, we have a ledge jump. While sprinting very close to a ledge, you'll perform this jump, it'll send you farther. Roll landing, while holding jump or tapping it before hitting the ground, you will do a barrel roll, restoring stamina. So they've introduced a skill gap into the running function. This literally means people that have better timing, better rhythm are going to have more stamina, and that's pretty cool. We have wall kicking, jumping against a vertical surface to your side will perform wall kick, and we saw this in the demo trailer, and you can actually chain this apparently according to this trailer. So it's going to be very unique situations. I imagine there's not going to be many opportunities to leap off of 2 to 3 walls in a row, but this might be something to do where, say someone's a box up of you, you vault up, do a side jump, come out for a headshot. I'm just theorizing here. We'll see if we can even chain these mechanics together. And then you have the wall scramble. Jumping against a vertical surface in front of you allows you to scramble and reach a higher ledge. So this is actually an enhancement of the vault mechanic. Okay, so if anything, this is just gonna make parkouring much more fluid in Fortnite Chapter 6. And right here, hidden at the very bottom, might be one of the most significant changes of all, and that's simple editing. Now, this is a new setting you can toggle in your menu. It allows for editing builds with a single button press. And that edit is based on the part of the building you're looking at, rather than having to paint it manually. Whereas before, say you wanted to open a right-hand corner peak, you had to get the top 3 corner squares of your little build grid. Well, now you can activate that just by touching the corner, and instantly you have your right hand peak. This is definitely going to enhance the speed of pro players, but I think this is really dramatically going to enhance the speed of average players as well. Because a large part of the failure rate when it comes to building is failing your edits. Often your camera's in a bad position and you can't really scroll your cursor over the pieces that you want cleanly, and then someone just comes spraying your wall from behind and boom, you're eliminated. Imagine how many situations in your Fortnite career you would have survived if you had simple edits. Well, baby, now it's time. And this is probably part of the reason why they shut down Zero Build as well. Zero Build was really an experiment when it came to competitive modes, and it turned out they could not police it. Aimbotting is just too prevalent. As AI tools become more advanced, now you have pieces of hardware that literally do the cheating for you. Screens that overlay cheats onto your game, so you're not technically cheating on your computer, you're cheating on the screen. And that can't even be detected by traditional cheat software. So all in all, this rollback to build exclusive competitive is more necessary than anything. It's the only way to maintain competitive integrity. And honestly, with all the changes that have happened to the game in the past couple chapters, if you really care to be a competitive player in Fortnite, all the tools are there. There's really no more excuse. Yeah, it's a mechanically unique game, but the ability to master it has never been more simple, more streamlined. And not only that, but I will mention that the pump shotgun from Chapter 6 and the pump shotgun that's returning with Fortnite OG both do 200 headshot damage. In the Chapter 6 case, you do have to have the legendary, but still, it only proves the point that they want those kinds of clips. That's how Fortnite players really enjoy playing the game, with that level of decisiveness. I may complain about the snipers a lot, honestly, but Fortnite players love their one-hit snipers. That's just kinda how the style of the game is. Now, a couple other leaks and rumors. We have a 5v5 first-person LTM, and this is supposed to be an official Epic Games mode, so we'll see if they introduce that during this season. This is one of the first seasons in a long time where I really don't see a unique mechanic in the game. There's a lot of reworks to the old mechanics, but chapters have usually been defined by the introduction of something totally new, whether that's swimming in Chapter 2, the augment system of Chapter 4, the mods of Chapter 5. So first person coming in Chapter 6 makes a lot of sense, but it is a bit late if it was supposed to be here day one. Some people were theorizing that because Disney has a 10% investment into Epic Games, making them a minor stakeholder, that we would never see DC crossovers in this game again. But we actually had the reintroduction of the Batman files. This includes his grappler and his batarangs. So we could see the return of this as maybe a drop spot, maybe an LTM. Who knows? Just know that these are back in the files. So all bets are off when it comes to Fortnite. I think Fortnite is so big that it doesn't really matter what business deals they make. Everyone wants a piece of the platform. And we also have the end dates for not only Chapter 6 Season 1, but Fortnite OG Season 1 and Chapter 6 in general. And from looking at these, we can discern two things. One, the first season of Fortnite OG is gonna run for 2 entire months, past Christmas. But also that Chapter 6 will not be ending until December 1st, literally an entire year. And this breaks with the recent tradition of having an OG season during November, and I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Because Chapter 3 is definitively not OG. There's really no way to frame it for old school players. So this means that we'll most likely go from Chapter 6 directly into Chapter 7, and this only feeds my personal theory that Hope and Jonesy are splitting their forces across the timeline. So while Hope is doing her samurai Japanese thing on the Chapter 6 map, trying to maybe find the 7 or fight Sloan and the IO guards, Jonesy will be back on Chapter 1 Fortnite OG map, and he'll be doing stuff in the past to help her fight in the future. And it should all come together in December of 2025 and maybe unify the storyline. Who knows? The Fortnite storyline is all over the place, and in recent events, they have not really delivered those kind of game-defining moments that Fortnite has become known for. That's one of the things I really hope they focus on in the next year, is making those live events really special again, because for a lot of Fortnite players, that's what they come to the game for. Those incredible moments that don't exist on any other game. And truthfully, that's one of the things that really keeps me playing. But that's it for today's patch notes. I really recommend you subscribe. I'm going to be doing a Battle Pass review, Drop Spot review, tips on all the new movement, getting back into build mode. I got an Unreal ranked run coming out very soon. It's taken me a while to edit, but I am an Unreal player. So I will see you guys in that video. Use code Sourheart to support this channel if you buy any of these new cosmetics, which, by the way, everything comes with the Fortnite crew now. So if you subscribe to the Fortnite crew, you get every pass, same price. That's really the way I recommend you do it. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Comment how you're feeling about Chapter 6 down below.